Queen, smiling in genuine amusement, but impatiently. "Why, no, madame, not precisely his Majesty's message." "Then get to it, man, in Heaven's name," growled Sapt testily. For here were we four, the Queen too, one of us, on tenterhooks, while the fool boasted about the sport that he had shown the king. For every boar in the forest Simon took as much credit as though he, and not Almighty God, had made the animal. It is the way with such fellows. Simon became a little confused under the combined influence of his own seductive memories and Sapt's brusque exhortations. "As I was saying, madame," he resumed, "the boar led us a long way, but at last the hounds pulled him down, and his Majesty gave him the coup de grace. Well, then it was very late." "It's no earlier now," grumbled the constable. "And the king, madame, although indeed, madame, his Majesty was so gracious to say that no huntsman whom his Majesty had ever had given his Majesty." "God help us!" groaned the constable. Simon shot an apprehensive, apologetic glance at Colonel Sapt. The constable was frowning ferociously. In spite of the serious matters in hand, I could not forbear a smile, while young Bernenstein broke into an audible laugh, which he tried to smother with his hand. "Yes, the king was very tired, Simon," said the queen, at once encouraging him and bringing him back to the point with a woman's skill. "Yes, madame, the king was very tired, and as we chanced to kill near the hunting lodge." I do not know whether Simon noticed any change in the manner of his audience, but the queen looked up with parted lips, and I believe we all three drew a step nearer to him. Sapt did not interrupt this time. "Yes, madame, the king was very tired, and as we chanced to kill near the hunting lodge, the king bade us carry our quarry there and come back to dress it to morrow. So we obeyed, and here we are. That is, except Herbert, my brother, who stayed with the king by his Majesty's orders, because, madame, Herbert is a handy fellow, and my good mother taught him to cook a steak and " "Stayed where with the king?" roared Sapt. "Why, at the hunting lodge, constable. The king stays there tonight, and will ride back to morrow morning with Herbert. That, madame, is the king's message." We had come to it at last, and it was something to come to. Simon gazed from face to face. I saw him, and I understood at once that our feelings must be speaking too plainly. So I took on myself to dismiss him, saying: "Thanks, Simon, thanks. We understand." He bowed to the queen. She roused herself and added her thanks to mine. Simon withdrew, looking still a little puzzled. After we were left alone, there was a moment's silence. Then I said: "Suppose Rupert " The constable of Zenda broke in with a short laugh. "On my life," said he, "how things fall out! We say he will go to the hunting lodge, and he goes." "If Rupert goes, if Rischenheim doesn't stop him," I urged again. The queen rose from her seat and stretched out her hands towards us. "Gentlemen, my letter," said she. Sapt wasted no time. "Bernenstein," said he, "you stay here as we arranged. Nothing is altered. Horses for Fritz and myself in 5 minutes." Bernenstein turned and shot like an arrow along the terrace towards the stables. "Nothing is altered, madame," said Sapt, "except that we must be there before Count Rupert." I looked at my watch. It was 20 minutes past 9. Simon's cursed chatter had lost a quarter of an hour. I opened my lips to speak. A glance from Sapt's eyes told me that he had discerned what I was about to say. I was silent. "You'll be in time?" asked the queen, with clasped hands and frightened eyes. "Assuredly, madame," returned Sapt, with a bow. "You won't let him reach the king?" "Why, no, madame," said Sapt, with a smile. "From my heart, gentlemen," she said in a trembling voice, "from my heart." "Here are the horses," cried Sapt. He snatched her hand, brushed it with his grisly moustache, and well, I'm not sure I heard, and I can hardly believe what I think I heard, but I will set it down for what it's worth. I think he said: "Bless your sweet face, we'll do it." At any rate, she drew back with a little cry of surprise, and I saw the tears standing in her eyes. I kissed her hand also. Then we mounted, and we started, and we rode as if the devil were behind us, for the hunting lodge. But I turned once to see her standing on the terrace, with young Bernenstein's tall figure beside her. "Can we be in time?" said I. It was what I had meant to say before.
"I think not, but by God we'll try,"
said Colonel Sapt, and I knew why he had not let me speak. Suddenly there was a sound behind us of a horse at the gallop. Our heads flew round in the ready apprehension of men on a perilous errand. The hoofs drew near, for the unknown rode with reckless haste.
"We'd better see what it is,"
said the constable, pulling up. A second more, and the horseman was beside us. Sapt swore an oath, half in amusement, half in vexation. "Why, it's you, James!" I cried. "Yes, sir," answered Rudolf Rassendyll's servant.
"What the devil do you want?"
asked Sapt. "I came to attend on the Count von Tarlenheim, sir." "I did not give you any orders, James." "No, sir; but Mr. Rassendyll told me not to leave you unless you sent me away. So I made haste to follow you." Then Sapt cried:
"Deuce take it, what horse is that?"
"The best in the stable, so far as I could see, sir. I was afraid of not overtaking you." Sapt tugged at his moustaches, scowled, but finally laughed.
"Much obliged for your compliment," said he. "The horse is mine."
"Indeed, sir?" said James, with respectful interest. For a moment we were all silent. Then Sapt laughed again.
"Forward!"
said he, and the three of us dashed into the forest. Chapter 8